The Zone in Stalker Gamma is an experience like no other, dangerous, unpredictable, and unforgiving. Between its adrenaline-fueled action and the horrors that lurk in the dark lies a somber beauty, an oppressive isolation and loneliness in a world that cares little for its inhabitants. Here, you are nothing more than another tale awaiting its tragic end. You are no hero nor savior, just another body trying to survive in a hostile land. Always just one bad decision away from death, life in the Zone has no problem continuing on with or without you. I can't think of any other games that capture such a unique atmosphere, with a lively world in which you are not the protagonist, merely a fresh rookie looking to find their place. Unfortunately for you, absolutely nothing is given in the Zone, only earned. From every ruble to every piece of gear you repair to working condition, you're filled with a rush of accomplishment as it represents hours of navigating the game's delicate balance that ebbs and flows between action, horror, and survival. This is Stalker Gamma, a game that doesn't hold your hand and simply doesn't care whether you succeed or not. It instead rewards your hard-earned skills, experience, and knowledge. It facilitates your growth from a naive rookie to a hardened stalker. While its default offering isn't for everyone, it provides tons of customization to turn it into the exact game you're looking for, but its vanilla settings are where it really shines. It is simply something you will not find in another game, and an experience worth having. I haven't played since it first debuted nearly 2 years ago, and recently it had a major update, overhauling some core features, adding some new ones, and improving the whole package further. With over 500 mods built on top of an already massive overhaul, it's nearly impossible for me to keep track of all the changes and improvements. I just know I'm ready to jump in blind and have that incredible first experience all over again. This is my humble beginning in Stalker Gamma 0.9.3. For this playthrough, I'm thinking I'll keep it standard and noob friendly, starting as a loner in Rookie Village. While I have played this before, I never truly hit endgame or even interacted with all of its numerous features. Throw in the 9.3 changes and I'm essentially new. Leaving the settings on story mode and turning up the difficulties to the highest, I know I'm gonna need to start with a better armor, which doesn't leave me with a whole lot of points for anything else. So I choose to toss shotgun and spend the rest on medkits. And with that, my journey begins, bringing law to the Zone. Not really, that's just my name. Right away, you'll notice a few things, like this game looks way better than any 15-year-old engine has the right to, and most actions you perform have animations, like equipping my armor and my backpack. You'll also see the Stalker Network, which is this cool feature that basically acts as a chat room and newsfeed to everyone with a PDA within the Zone. It's one of the many things that really emphasize how alive the world is, with or without your input. I get the tutorial quests from Fnatic while I refamiliarize myself with the controls. Movement has a bit more weighty inertia to it than I remember, and I'll definitely need to play with the keybinds and sensitivity. After talking to everyone and accepting all the quests, let's venture out for the first time. Trying to get Fnatic to do most of the work for me, I dance behind some trees to keep the bowers busy. I'm not sure what happened here, if I somehow cancelled the reload or what. I don't think guns should start off jamming so soon, but who knows. Though the quest got completed, the remaining bower gets a clean hit on me and I immediately bleed out on the floor. It looks like bleeding is much more dangerous now, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Really? I can't say I'm surprised that this is how my very first encounter goes. Definitely need to learn the game all over again. My second attempt goes much better. Afterwards, I finished the tutorial by visiting the nearby Anomaly field, but I know better than to go baking in rads right now. I need protection before I try artifact hunting. I kept hearing a zombie mumbling. Sure enough, there was one hiding behind this tank. Also being completely oblivious to my surroundings, turns out I was bathing in radiation through the fight. Nothing a quick trip to Flavor Country couldn't fix. I don't recall ever encountering armed zombies so early on, but that's part of the beauty of this game. It's incredibly dynamic, and you never really know what to expect. It always keeps you on your toes. My plan is simple. I need to farm this easier area for supplies and money, looking to take any engagement I can find to increase both my worth and my skill. Being attracted to the gunfire, I spot a zombie on the road ahead, but not what he's firing at, so I skirt around for a potential flank. It's not until I kill him and his undead friend that I locate the source of the noise, a lone bandit. So these guys are a random party roaming the zone. Who knows what their goals are, where they'll go, or how their fates will end up. Some even gave me quests earlier back in the village. They could go off and die, causing me to fail the quest. Again, I'm gonna say it a lot, but damn, this world feels so alive. There's a quest down the road at the entrance to Darkscape, and I know there's likely bandits to farm at the vehicle station on the way. Sure enough, during my approach, I hear slowing footsteps in front of me, a bandit likely reacting to hearing me as well. His head slowly peeks out, and I give it a good clicking. Surprisingly, the vehicle station is empty, but I still need to cautiously clear it. During this, I hear a lot of gunfire back at the rookie village. Not wanting to miss out on the easy loot, I sprint back. Looks like some zombies got in and even managed to kill a loner. One less stalker in the zone already. Wanting to make sure I didn't miss any potential to the south, I'm immediately reminded that the army occupies these lands and I stand absolutely no chance against them, especially trying to use a damaged weapon that keeps jamming. I try once more, but decide it's best to just leave. Being near a lit campfire heals you, so I shoot the shit with my comrades while soaking in the medicinal heat and plotting my course. With the stash in Darkscape and a quest on the way, looks like my path is clear. These guns are basically useless in their condition. You can't buy guns or armor from vendors, and instead need to salvage parts to repair and maintain all of your gear. So I start my components collection off with some disassembly action. On the return trip to the station, I get the jump on a lone bandit. Looks like my quest marker is a flesh, and that damn gun keeps jamming, but I won't learn my lesson, and will continue trying to use it regardless. Now if I remember, Darkscape is essentially a big forest with one long road. There should be a mechanic somewhere inside, but overall a typically uneventful area. My first encounter with some pseudo-dogs cost me a medkit, but at least I survived, so I'll take it. On my way to the stash marker, I just can't get over how good this game looks. It's so much more than just the graphical fidelity, but the art style and atmosphere are on point. All the moving foliage interacting with the light and shadow, while all I have to focus on is the sound of my footsteps over the wind. It's such an eerie tranquility because of how quickly things can go from 0 to 100. You're kind of always on edge even in these peaceful moments. I love this balance of tension and wish more games attempted to capture it. But the catch is how difficult the core experience needs to be to keep the stakes high, and unfortunately, few developers will risk that kind of game loop. I'm at the stash, but I can barely see it, reminding me of how old and dark my monitor has gotten, so battling against the dark is already heavily foreshadowed here. This first stash is pretty good too, immediately giving me some medium armor I likely won't be able to repair for several hours, and an armor upgrade kit. I'm pretty sure that building in the distance has a mechanic in it. Might as well check his inventory while I'm out here. Despite his workbench trying to lift off into space, there's really nothing he can offer me just yet. I'm much too poor to worry about doing any serious business anytime soon. While I was walking here, I remember seeing some stalkers looking for an escort to cordon over the network. I need to see if they're still at the gas station to the south. Carefully approaching, I'm relieved to see I remembered where this place was and that now I have 3 buddies to accompany me. I like how my new friend says this right as I blindly walk into an irradiated area. From the top of this hillside, I see some movement, a few zombies and some wildlife. Figure I'll put my squad to use and get some easy loot. Back in cordon, I let my guard down and the zombie sneaks up on me, nearly ending my life as I fumble through jammed weapons before one of my buddies decides to save me. Stopping at a campfire to heal up and enjoy some baked beans, I see that they're intent on fighting whatever is inside of the vehicle station. Check out how they split up and approach this enemy, through no orders from me. Pretty sweet, right? Multi-billion-dollar IPs don't even function like this. And, oh, did I mention this game is entirely free yet? Seriously, go give it a try. I work my way down to the mechanic at the farm, just so I can remind myself how crafting works. It's not yet clear to me what has changed, but the repair system was overall streamlined quite a bit. I'll figure it out once I get the tools to make stuff. Returning to my escort quest, I stop and admire the visuals outside of the destination, only to piss someone off. In my confusion, I attack a friendly faction and all hell breaks loose. On my second attempt, I take a wider approach to try to figure out what the hell just happened. It looks like the Renegade faction, I believe, is chilling next to some bandits, and they're not natural enemies. Though, they're apparently not friendly enough to care if I blow their brains out right next to them. So I deal with the 2 bandits, although I don't know why this one was so tanky. This is also my party's destination, so I take the gear I had one holding for me and bid farewell to my friends. Once again, I'm all alone with only my thoughts. In the rookie village, it's time to make some monies while I turn in a few more quests, dropping off all my spare loot I won't need for a while at Sid's shop. By the time I'm done, it's nearly nightfall, and I know nighttime is very dangerous with more aggressive mutants out. I contemplate my next course of action next to the healing flames of a campfire until I decide, fuck it. Gonna buy a headlamp from Sid and try to do a lap through 4 zones, role-playing as an Amazon Prime courier with the 3 delivery quests I have. Now it's really dark. I've already mentioned my monitor is dark, and all I have is this dinky headlamp and a glow stick I can't even use alongside my shotgun. I'm also hearing some concerning noises just outside of town, but the hell with it. Fortune favors the bold, right? So that was like, what, 100 feet out of town? Let's try again. Maybe I can get the guards to help this time. A pseudo-dog decides to join the 2 lurkers, and it's clear I'm still very bad at this, but I intend to practice. My best attempt was going pretty well, avoiding them with the tree between us, but I kept missing my shots. It seems like my shotgun jams sometimes too, which I don't understand unless the jam calculation just isn't accurate. It seems to be jamming much more than the 1% it claims. After this fail, I waited in town with the magazine to see if anything would change, also hoping the moon might come out to make the night a little bit brighter. Well, things did change, just not necessarily for the better.
Ты оружие-то опусти, мужик. Уж я до тебя доберусь. Оружие-то спрячь.
Alright, I think it's time to admit defeat and roll back to the save just before buying the headlamp. I'm just not equipped or skilled enough to deal with this right now, and I can only imagine how much worse it would get deeper into the other zones, so I turned in for the night instead. On this overcast morning, I chill with my fellow stalkers as I plot my course through Darkscape, Dark Valley, Garbage, and finally Agroprom. This route sees me completing several deliveries, collecting a few stashes, and some other quests too. With a little luck, I'm hoping to find a basic toolkit along the way, and then I can spend my newfound wealth on some much needed upgrades. It's an ambitious, busy day, so let's get to it. My first delivery target kept moving, which is actually really cool and again goes to show that everyone's just living their life here in the zone, but it also meant I went to Dark Valley for kind of no reason. At least I was able to get a lot done in Garbage. Now in Agroprom, with this guy I've delivered 2 of my packages and got a yellow stash location in Wild Territory. With night fast approaching, I want to quickly go find the stash and still have enough time to swing back to working my way down south again on another quest tour. Yellow stashes are great because they can contain major upgrades like toolkits, which essentially unlocks the next tier of gear by enabling the ability to repair and craft kits for them. I think it's for every 7 stashes you find a yellow stash, but honestly I don't remember. Nice, this stash has basic tools and a medium radiation suit I can work on repairing soon, which would help me safely hunt artifacts in anomaly fields. Now to hike back through Garbage, hitting a stash or 2 along the way and try making it back to Rookie Village before nightfall. This stash actually has a pretty decent gun, and it's a B-class weapon, so I should be able to make a repair kit for it now. Definitely a potential upgrade once I consolidate my cash and all my materials. There's more tasks I can do here in Garbage, but someone needs rescuing in Cordon, and those quests can fail if you take too long. So I'm gonna risk it and rage against the dying of the light. Right at the zone to cordon, I bump into a few bandits and make quick work of them, only to walk into a gunfight between some loners and more bandits on the other side. I approach my captive target carefully. Sometimes there's big groups holding these guys, but luckily he's being held like James Bond, alone and with no supervision. His lone captor goes down without a fight, and now it's time to think about settling in for the night. I take some time to go over my new crafting possibilities with the basic tools in hand, but my gear is still spread across 3 stashes, and I want to work on collecting it all before deciding on a loadout to repair. Plus, some extra cash to play around with would be nice too, so I hold off on any crafting for now. While taking stock of my inventory, I'm interrupted by fleeing birds and frightened stalkers. The sky above begins to cry out in pain, and it's clear I have no choice but to take shelter. An emission is coming. Another grim reminder that everything in the zone is always trying to kill you. Once it's safe, I return to the campfire's warmth, admiring the lightning storm the emission brought on. It's around 9 p.m., and while I'm still reluctant to go out at night, I could leverage the lightning and my new buddy's headlamp. There's a bounty on ahead to the south, so we'll take him out on the way to Rookie Village. First, let's take a moment to appreciate how genuinely this game captures the look, sound, and feel of being out in a lightning storm at night. Playing this alone at night in a dark room with headphones on? Damn. Honestly, it is such an incredible experience. If you haven't given this game a try yet, then What the hell are you even doing? Go download it. It's free.
Быть наготове.
I kept seeing the other stalkers talk about this wanted bandit over the network like he was some dangerous badass. Turns out, he takes one to the head just like the rest of them. With the storm finally subsiding, I hug the zone border down to the village, utilizing my buddy's headlamp behind me and hoping we don't run into anything too dangerous. Luckily, we find ourselves within the safety of the village and prepare to call it a night. After a quick beef stew breakfast, it's time to have my friend here work off his debt for saving him. I have to clear cordon the bandits, hit up some stashes, and do some repeat quests while I work back up to garbage to return him safely to his comrades. It's looking like another busy day, so I load up on supplies and head out once again. But you know what, at least today someone will be watching my back.
Одни как разбойничали, так и разбойничают.
At the entrance to Garbage, I come across a group of stalkers that need an escort. They need to be at their destination in Garbage within 4 hours, so I'll use them to help me clear a couple of quests before dropping them off. Now we're a full-on hunting party, and for the first time, the zone doesn't feel quite as empty. But it's time to let my Corden friend rest. He's worked off his debt. With my remaining posse, we head north to the flea market to turn in some quests and deal with the mutant problem. Turns out to just be a couple of angry meatballs. Hardly a challenge. While I could get another 2 hours or so of free labor out of these guys, I decided to drop them off at their destination since it was nearby. It wasn't much, but maybe the real reward was the friends we made along the way. From here I need to swing by the hangar. I left a delivery in the stash there, and I need it for my final courier run. Right outside, a damn single bower gives me trouble. I swear, their attack is inconsistent sometimes. My second attempt summoned something much angrier than a bower. A lot of ammo later, I collect my belongings from storage, do a quick stash run, and head back to Agroprom. The last emission must have moved the radiation zones around because all the NPCs are absolutely baking in thick rads. I have to get shit-faced drunk and smoke a whole pack of cigarettes just to turn in my deliveries. I was already sleepy, but all that alcohol and meds really killed my energy. There's a stash in a nearby swamp I want to hit up. There's even a bed right there I might make use of. I scout ahead and make my way there. The stash contains a pretty sweet shotgun. I think I may have found my next upgrade. Finally, a new weapon. With my energy low, I contemplate sleeping through the rest of the day until morning, but I really want to start working on putting together some better gear. So I think it's time to run through the zones, collect all the loot I have stashed, and consolidating it by a mechanic. It's going to take all my energy and the rest of the day, but it's a good closing point for this video, I think. That was 3 days of life as a rookie in the zone, a small taste of what it means to be a stalker in Gamma. We've seen most of the southern region, made ourselves around 80,000 rubles, and can finally start the gearing up process with our Tier 1 toolset. There's a ton of stashes waiting for us in the swamplands to the west, and once I upgrade my loadout, I think we're ready to take on more dangerous game. Our course is set, but the journey through the zone has just begun.